Hey guys, I wanted to put together this video to discuss what I'm seeing in the Legion beta right now as far as PvP goes. But I'm not very happy. I've been playing for 10 years. I'm probably going to stop. Yeah, no one's ever going to stop. That's right, Hydra. I'm that guy who's been kicking your ass in Isheron all day, every day. Get it right. No, I literally just pop in, when alliance get a little too powerful, and I just flex on y'all really quick, and then I have to dip out before you. Yeah, I'll try to do so. Anyway, this system's unfair right now. Tanks are way too overpowered. I mean, hands down, all over the place. There's literally multiple talents in all the talent trees that, they're not lining up right. What you're seeing is just, well, let's talk about the unholy DK versus a marksman hunter, for instance. So a marksman hunter, we all know, marksman hunter abilities and beastmaster hunters, from the last expansion. Aspect of the cheetah, I think, is a big one to talk about because it's going on to a 3-minute cooldown. You'll have 90% movement speed for 3 seconds and then 30% movement speed thereafter. The only other getaway that you're going to be given is deterrence. With that said, I mean, you have to think about last expansion and what deterrence was able to do for you. I mean, it'll do a lot, but when you start getting into people slowing you, people anticipate that deterrence, a hamstring, the right slows, they're going to catch you. And what we're seeing with demon hunters right now, with them flying through the air and jumping down on people, there's no getting away. An example of how they're doing it wrong versus that would be the Corpse Maker shield on the Unholy DK. So the Corpse Maker shield has a 90% damage reduction. You can fight while it's up because it's your pet's ability. And it lasts for 10 seconds versus the aspects of the turtle for the hunter, which is reflects all melee. It's got also a 30% reflect on spells. It lasts 8 seconds. So it's inconsistent. So you look at a plate wear and you're like, oh my god, he's got all this damage reduction as far as melee goes due to his armor. Hunters don't have that. They have, about 2/3 of what a tank has. So, with that said, the hunter goes into battle, he's dead. Shadow Priest, for instance. Shadow Priests right now only have heals and shield as far as the damage reduction. They no longer have shadow form. It's purely heals that one come off the shield. Let's talk about that. So it's procced really based on how well you're using your shield. You have one Vampiric Embrace. The Vampiric Embrace has been buffed a little bit. So, if you properly line that up, but it's on a 3-minute cooldown. So it's like every 3 minutes you can properly line that up. Aside from that, you got to look at battlegrounds and rated battlegrounds versus arenas and duels and stuff. So in an arena, in a duel, you might have 2 people. You might even have 3 in a 5v5 people that come on you. But you have a healer dedicated to you most likely in a 5v5 match to keep you up while 3 people are pounding you out. You have much more diversification going on in BGs and RBGs. You have to assume that a person's going to have 3 people on them consistently because people like to walk around in little gangs and beat people up. That's what they're looking for. In the last expansion, I know myself, when I got 3 people on me, I had outs. I would embarrass a group of people. And that's what made the game fun for me, is, actually knowing how to use my crowd controls. And to be honest, the rotations had to be perfect. Warlords of Draenor, great expansion. The best as far as I can tell. I mean, what you guys did in Isheron as far as the damage reductions and all the specialty buffs, and amazing. Amazing. But now you've completely eliminated, again, a world PvP zone, which you guys were creating. This great rivalry that really is just getting bombed right now due to the fact that you want to have a decent arena tournament. So why don't you just come out and say that, hey, you know what? we're catering to the arena guys. We want to have small battles, you know, and we want to know that they're going off proper. You know, I'm going to tell you something. You could have very easily solved this entire situation by creating a no-level PvP battleground situation. So how does that work? So you get a bunch of level 100s and 90s and even level 1s, and no matter what, when you walk into the battleground, you have max talents, you have max everything, you know what I mean? So it's consistent. The rewards going out for classes level 1 to 99 would be a special honor token, not the regular one that you're implementing for the 100. So the 100s can still get viable rewards, and the 1 to 99 can get leveling up gear and stuff. That's really the main things. The other thing I could talk about as being a bonus to that is the exposure to the system and the spells. So now you got level 1s to 99s, seeing the stuff firsthand in a battleground situation, you know, not necessarily being able to use it in the world or world PvP or anything of that nature, just, you know, seeing it in the battlegrounds where they're getting their tokens to get better gear. So they have a reason to go in there. It's sort of like the looting system in Battlegrounds Forever. So it's like we'd go into a battleground and fight for like 30 minutes and we'd be looting like 5 silver off of a guy for like how many expansions was that? I mean, it's infuriating. It's infuriating that you couldn't fix that. It's infuriating that there's not just a standard damage reduction going out in the battlegrounds if the DPS is too high from the raids. It's like, so you didn't have a perfect balance. Just throw up a debuff in the upper corner that literally says 10% damage reduction for all players. Done. I mean, because, I mean, right now in Legion Beta, everyone's doing right around 100,000 DPS. Now, I know, understand that there are critical burst moments. I've seen people go up to 330,000 DPS, you know, and, you know, it's like even further than that. I know that a Boomkin has the potential to drop 700,000 on you instantaneously due to he can ramp up to a new moon and then he can drop a star surge on you, and the combination of the two is literally 700,000 damage. I know Paladin can put an Avenger shield on for 900,000 damage right now. Oh, let's just make it a mill. I'm being corrected. A clean mill. Oh, mill 2. A mill 2 Avenger shield. Okay. So, I mean, like, ultimately, so you got, so there's a Warlock, right? Warlocks have an ability, Soul Link, right now. So they're leeching off of you as one of their dots. That dot can be applied onto as many people as is in front of them. I mean, they have to run through a global cooldown because it's an instant cast, so they'd have to apply it to multiple targets. But when you're dot weaving and you're looking for an instant to throw behind a castable because it's almost free, I kind of look at it that way. The those instants can be just incredible. I've had 4 guys beating on my my affliction lock right now, and if I just keep those dots up, nothing's happening. I can literally dance with them. I don't have to fight. So there's stuff that I see that Blizzard can tweak, and then there's stuff that I say, oh well, you guys got to change the whole entire talent tree, and then I see them drop Overwatch, and I'm like, okay, so you guys dropped Overwatch to compete with Call of Duty. Great. So now you're stealing money from that market, but you can't even take care of the PvP guys in your own market because I literally just walked into garbage in the beta. Like garbage. And you know, you try to throw around bombs like, oh, this is how it is in every beta. No, this is not how it's been in every beta. I mean, you've literally changed every entire class completely. Like, I mean, you've literally given everyone new high spells and new high abilities. It's not the same. You know, in some of the other expansions, you brought certain abilities back from the dead that you had in the first and second expansion. Stuff that we had already kind of been exposed to, and maybe 1 or 2 new ones here or there. And then typically in that expansion, you also had 1 new class, so everyone would, you know, dive into that new class. And that's a whole nother thing. It's like, why are you catering to the... Why did you cater to DKs? Why did you cater to monks? Why are you... Does it look like you're catering to demon hunters right now? It's like, because it's ridiculous. Because it's ridiculous. You got players who've been playing for 10 years. You know, you start looking at those numbers like 10 years. You got people that love your game, that love playing it. But that's indifferent because most likely you guys are tired of it. Like, that's what's going on, right? It's something. It's just something. I mean, I know you guys probably need new things, new toys, and new games to build on, new excuses. But World of Warcraft, I mean, you got a legacy right here. I mean, I'll make recommendations to you guys. Reach out to Lego because there's so much potential there with all the Batman. Man, forget it. I don't know if Lego wants you guys, but that's on you. Um, the PvP system is so broke. It's really really broke. And when you come out here and see this, it's just they can't fix it enough, you know, and they will. I'm sure they will. I'm sure that there's enough people that are going to blow enough smoke up their ass that they're going to fix a good bit of it. But guys, really, in this expansion, you're going to need to find Blizzard's class, the one that they're caressing, the one that they love, and just play it. Because that's the only way we're going to fix PvP. If they want us all to play Blood DK, we'll all come out and play Blood DKs. I mean, because that's the only thing that's going to change everything. It just wasn't given enough love. It wasn't. I don't know what happened. I don't know if all the us, you know, paying with game tokens and stuff did this to them. They're saying they're not making enough money anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I know the arena tournament's probably making them some money, right? So that's what it's about, right? It's about the 3v3s and 5v5s, making Blizzard some extra cash on the side, and it looks like they're part of an event. PvP, as far as who was interested in it, you had casual players. You had people, you know, jumping out, looking for a little diversification. In your dungeons, they just wanted, you know, do something different. A lot of your dungeon people wouldn't even come in because there's two different sets of gear. I mean, right there, it's like what better reason to keep people out of your battlegrounds? It's like I just don't have what I need to be in there. Um, I look at it like you want to cater to the casual player. Don't make a person have to level 9 characters. Make them level 1. And when they're done with their character, they have access to all the others at the same max level. And their gear is account bound. And it's interchangeable. And let's say I want to go play a Resto Druid, or I want to go play a Feral Druid. It's all there in that one set of gear. Or if I want to take that one set of gear and I want to mail it to my Shadow Priest, that Shadow Priest can now take that set of gear and wear that set of gear and move on. And then I can go out and hunt for all your crazy transmog gear and do all that stuff and still have enough time to feed my family. Because honestly, gaming, what, 2 hours? If we're lucky, we should have 2 hours, maybe a day. I don't know. So I've gotten to spend a week straight in the beta. Like, I mean, hardcore, like, you know, 16-hour days in the beta. And, you know, I'm wasting my time, literally, hammering up against these Blood DKs. So I created a Blood DK and just started dragging everyone. I mean, that's where it's at right now. Hot fixes implemented? No. Blue posts on the forums for the last week? No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So we're in there doing stuff. Nothing's being said. Nothing's being done. It's just garbage. You know, and like I said, just remember, they dropped Overwatch. They decided to drop that, you know, while we're sitting here, you know, 10-year players. Another thing to talk about with the expansion is the damage. So, you know, like in some expansions, you'd have like, I'm a Shadow Priest. So with that said, Shadow Priest, the damage in War of the Draenor, you know, it was like 33% Vampiric Touch, 33% Mind Blade, 33%. No, I know. I mean, I know Mind Blast was the highest, but you understand what I'm saying. It was all consistent. It was all like 33%. It was all the totals were pretty much in line. So if you did your rotation right, you know, everything divided out right. It's like you start looking at the DPS meters. It's like, all right, so a Marks Hunter, barrage, but literally 90 to 95% of your damage, and you need to throw your other rotation in there to keep it going, because you got to keep fighting. You can't just wait around for a 15-second 20-second barrage. It's like, forget it. So you're doing all your other stuff, and then it drops in at like 10% of your abilities, so you're like looking for exploits and stuff, you know what I mean? uh but it's not there. There's no that tree is garbage. The beast tree has the survivability. It has. I mean, that's what we're looking for. I mean, that's what we're all looking for, right? I mean, the best part of PvP is survival. You want to survive out there, right? Yes. I mean, I know I want to survive out there. I don't want to be part of a 10-man shitstorm where 10 people clash into 10 people and we all have a survival rate of 5 seconds. I don't want that. I want 10 to crash into 10 and we have a survival rate of 15 minutes and last man stand, kind of thing. It'd be so much better. I mean, you know, um, you can just see it. Damage reduction could have helped a lot of things. Damage reduction could have helped you in War as a Drainer with your Gladiators Coliseum. Just because there was a tremendous amount of shit being thrown around in there, and you had teams grouping up. I felt like damage should have started off low, and as less people disappeared, the buff would start to dissipate. So just in case there was a group of 5 people beating on you, damage would be low. It's just things to consider because nothing's consistent, and it should be consistent. I mean, I have no problem with you guys writing out a spell, Corpse Maker Shield, 90% damage reduction, but then go ahead and do Aspect of the Turtle the exact same way. Don't sit there and justify that they have more outs. They don't have more outs. Then, I mean, Unholy DK. So you guys have one quick little sprint that'll take you maybe like 20 yards. The Hunter's out is the deterrence and the feigned death and this Aspect of the Cheetah. But you have to realize in Unholy DK, they've got Death Strike. The Death Strike's giving you guys a tremendous heal. And it's all about timing it in the right rotations. You have Anti-Magic Shield. You can spec into another Anti-Shell, which will reduce magic further for an additional time for 60% for your entire group that stands around you. Yeah, it's not consistent. Then you got mages right now, where mages have so much burst. So you have 3 phoenixes that you can send launching at the target that do an average of around 115,000. So 115,000, if everyone's doing 100,000 DPS, even as you're hopping around, you're just launching these instant phoenixes and keeping your rotation up. And then you're just, working combustion with your Fire Blast right now to proc the Pyroblast. I see a couple people using the Greater Pyroblast, but it just seems like the procs with the Combustion, with the Fireball, with the Phoenix is just way more than enough. You can increase your shield on your Mage now to basically block 280 to 320,000 melee damage, which is really a tremendous amount. So they come in, and you Frost Nova them, and then you blank out, and then when they come in, you can Dragon Breath them and root them to the ground again because you got two charges on your Frost Nova, and then you have this ridiculous shield, and then you have Ice Block, which you can heal during the Ice Block. I mean, how is that in any way consistent with what I'm describing on the Hunter, the Shadow Priest, and the Arms Warrior are what I see as being very, very weak right now. An Elemental Shaman or an Enhanced Shaman, that's a joke. So they have a totem that'll reflect the damage back to the attackers if no one kills the totem. So you're gonna have this 3-month period where people are acting stupid and they're walking around smacking the shaman and doing damage and killing themselves until add-ons are created like Say Karma. Say Karma was an add-on that anytime, or Say Sapped. Sapped tells you Sapped. Monk has Karma on, tells you it's got Karma on him, so not to DPS. It's gonna be like, oh, Drop the totem, stop your DPS, kill the totem, and what did that buy for you? Because right now, that totem is giving you 100,000 DPS that you need, and in 3 months, you're not going to get that. So shamans are literally going to be obliterated out of the game. Um, Potions, they introduce potions. I'm telling you, like, it worked for the world PvP zone because you're taking 40 man damage, so you need damage reduction. And you've got 10 to 13 to 15 healers, so you need stats. So all those outs and stuff that took place in a shrine were great. Um, Giving an additional 20,000 damage or 20% damage reduction to a DK is retarded. So it's like ultimately I'll go in on my blood DK for like 500 battlegrounds and farm enough potions for my Shadow Priest to be able to survive for 5 minutes. And that's sad. I mean, literally, the way it's going down is I spent 10 years playing Shadow. I've spent 5 minutes as a blood DK, and I'm raping everyone. So I don't know what happened exactly. You know, it's like, hey, we got stats for your stats, so you can have stats on top of your stats while we're dropping stats. You got an artifact weapon that's got stats. You got an honor system that's got stats. You got gear that's got stats. You got a talent tree, your regular tree that's got stats. You know, I don't know if someone didn't do all the reading, didn't read A plus B plus C gets you there. I don't know if maybe artifact was just overlooked when you guys were writing out the DK. I don't know how to tell you guys to do your job, but I do know that everyone's doing consistent DPS. So you guys lined that up, and then you took the crowd controls and stuff, and you couldn't line it up at all. Crowd controls and damage reduction, you guys failed so hard, and it's such an easy thing to take a look at, and it really can be consistent. That's it. So I think you know, a lot of, like, when you look at PvP, um, and the time that you spend in your expansion pack, you spend a lot of time, you know, relearning your class. Every time Blizzard makes it in such a way that you have to relearn your class, and most likely have to rebind like 30% of your bar and change a tremendous amount of things. Um, and with that said, you know, it takes time to adjust. So, you know, you make excuses for yourself while you're out there in the field. Everyone starts to get really confident at the end of the expansions. Like, you know, I'm the king shit hunter. You know, and when it gets to that point, you know, that's when you know your class. And you love your class. So you don't necessarily go off and try another class. But then you do. You find out that that class was 3 times easier than the class you're playing. And that you have little 12-year-olds walking up to you and playing as well as you are, and they shouldn't be. I mean, literally, your game at one point in time took intelligence, and now what? Now where are we? I mean, do we start talking about it being just a game? Do we? Because it never was just a game. I had the same exact thing happen to my boy Scribble, Rogue. Shout out to you, bro. Back in Vanilla and BC. In BC, they changed everything up on him, and they made him half the rogue that he was. He literally was walking up, ganking anything that came up to him. He backed up on his mage, and he was killing everything on his mage. And I was killing everything on my Shadow Priest, and my wife was killing everything on her Hunter. And we were all doing our thing on different classes, and it wasn't a problem. You know why? Because we were actually good at our classes. And I know the stats were simpler back then. It was a lot more easier for you guys to control. But we can see that you're catering to the arena. You can see it, and I challenge you guys as viewers to go out and see that. I'm gonna put in my description all these cookie cutter talent trees. I mean, I've gone through almost every class right now in the beta, and I want to provide you with those specs so you can go out and do 100k DPS as well. Because there's no point wasting time trying to get adjusted. when you go ahead and get adjusted, then you can start to cry to Blizzard about what's going on out there. And yeah, and hopefully we can make a change, because it's not happening right at the beginning of the expansion. You could definitely tell that. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes right after the tournament. And that's like another thing too. It's like so Shadow Priest, for instance, we do understand that you guys opened it like, hey, dual spec. And it was like, yeah, hey, Shadow Priest, you want to switch over to healing? It's like, no, I have 2 Shadow specs. It's like, wait, what? No, I still need a PvE Shadow, and I still need a PvP Shadow. It's like, yep. And, the further I look at the trees, it's like I can put together AoE specs, I can put together group specs, group bonus specs, I can put together specs for self-TP. I can go so far. Give us more talent trees. Why can't I have 5 talent trees? Like, you already put a debuff in place and all that type of stuff that I can't change talents in a place until, like, I can't change talents in a battleground. But, why can't I have 5 setups ready to go? I feel that we need that. I also feel, like I said, that we need more money being looted in the battlegrounds. Definitely. Because people aren't stopping to loot every target. I mean, put someone on a DR. You can only loot a target once every 3 to 4 minutes. Like, you can loot the body, but you can't benefit from the bonus loot that's involved. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Because you need people to loot bodies so that people aren't running back and all of a sudden popping up in your face. That's unfair. We agree that bodies have to be looted. But at the same time, go ahead and put 10 gold on that body. Because a guy like me, I literally have looted in my history, I don't know, 10 years, 10 bodies. And it's not because I'm not looting bodies that are near the flags. So I am looting bodies that are near the flags during those critical moments in RBGs and stuff. But I'm not making any money. And then I have to go out and farm on top of it. I just want to stay in the battlegrounds. That's all I want. And you guys are scared of that too. You guys are scared of these overpowered thugs who just know the battleground system, just raping your casuals. I mean, so what? So what? I mean, I literally was that Shadow Priest in a Shran flying all of you motherfuckers bombing 40 you guys. Like, that did happen. But listen, Death Grips can root me out of the sky. It can happen. And now you Death Knights have double Death Grip in the honor system. So what does that leave for a deterrence? So Death Grip pulls the deterrence back, and the hunter goes to what? Aspect of the turtle and use his cheetah, which now he's using 2 of his big cooldowns to get away a second time, and he gets gripped back in again. Now what does he have? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So DK beats Hunter hands down all day, every day. There's nothing you can do about it. You can tell me I'm going to concussive shot and run from him? Because he has a sprint 2. He does. And you can't just say, oh, well, maybe he doesn't know his class. Because that's a cop-out. That really is. You know what I'm seeing right now? Oh, that's a noob class. No. Noob writers wrote the noob class. That's what happened. There's no noob classes. There's literally 40 to 50 talents in every talent tree to say that it's not supposed to be a noob class. But yet I can walk out and spec Heartbreaker on the first part of my talent tree and Heartbreaker as the last part of the honor talent tree and swing drop Blood Boil on a target. Death Grip him in, Blood Boil, Heartbreaker, Heartbreaker, Heartbreaker. Oh, Heartbreaker's lowering my life. Oh, I'll just consume. It's like, man, the abilities that are out there, it's like, and then consume, and then Death Strike, and then what's the other one that increases your health by 40% and increases healing taken by 40%, and you're in plate. Yo, fuck you, Blizzard. It's fucking terrible. It's terrible. And for you guys to fix this, you're gonna have patch notes up there. It's literally gonna say something like, well, please disregard the honor system completely. Like, it's gonna be the worst patch notes of all time. But that's what you guys need to do at this point. If you're gonna save your game, That's really what you guys need to do. You need to completely eliminate it, because you guys had a working system in Warlords of Draenor, and you could have increased on that. And I still think some of these flare abilities that you guys have created, like void tentacles and void bolts, and you know, and all the other nonsense for all the other classes, it's more artful than really anything. I think that those abilities can be implemented into the old system, and you guys could give us our stuff back. I know I'm not going to be the first. So take heed. Take heed, guys. Take heed to a 10-year veteran. A guy who really loves Blizzard. But I'm that angry. I mean, it's 10 years of my life, right? And I want to go further with it. You know, I want to better my game. I want to start going to Blizz conventions. You know, I just started to feel the full energy of the gaming industry, and I'm left with my hands in my pockets right now with nothing I can do. This has been a very depressing experience. Like I said, I know it'll be fixed for the most part, but with the amount of mistakes that are out there right now, I've only mentioned like 5, and I've been sitting here, and I appreciate you guys listening to me, but there's a tremendous amount of mistakes out here right now, and they're not going to fix them all. So go find Blizzard's Classes expansion and go play it, and go show them that you know how to play the game, as opposed to you know how to play your class, because there's going to be 12-year-olds that find a better class than yours, and they're just going to compete against you, and they don't deserve to be there. Okay, take care and good luck. Oh, and please, oh wait, I don't know if my camera's lining up right. Please take a look at my talents. It'll help you guys a lot. It'll be down there in the comment section. I might not get it up there the first day, but I'll get it up there. Thank you.